but that's what I'm hearing. This news is as fresh to me as it is you. I'm quite sure when this goes out, it'll be all over the place anyway. But all I can say is he passed the UK one, that he just fell on that one.
Give him an opportunity, right, for things to be heard. And in this situation, someone said the other day that sometimes when you fail a drugs test, it's not innocent till proven guilty, it's guilty till proven innocent. I'll be honest with you.
You know, as long as Joe is firing on all cylinders, I think he'll have enough to beat Wardley, even though, like you said, dangerous fight.
Johnny Nelson canceled all the rumors of Joseph Parker using steroids for better shape. And that statement hit hard. He's putting full trust in the official system and calling out people who are desperate to label Parker a cheat. No shortcuts, no steroids, just a better, stronger Joseph Parker.
Then I go with the boxing board's decision. The boxing board are no fools, and therefore they don't want to set precedent. So I'm quite sure if the boxing board are letting the fight go ahead, then I trust the boxing board when it comes.
People want conspiracy, but Johnny Nelson isn't feeding the circus. He's made it clear this isn't for outsiders to speculate. If you're not in Joseph Parker's inner circle, you don't get to decide what's real. Improvement doesn't always mean injections or illegal shortcuts.
We need more detail, and this is breaking news. So I know as much as you do. I don't know what's in that circle of trust. So let's just see how this goes.
And that's where Eddie Hearn steps in, giving the first official clarity. Eddie Hearn has made it official. Joseph Parker's UCAD test came back clean. No steroids, no foul play, just a man in peak condition. So why are people still trying to stain his name? If he's not suspended, then stop acting like he's guilty without evidence.
We've just been waiting for all the final test results to come back from UCAD, which are now back, that are negative, and that's the testing process they use. So we need clarity from the board. If you're not suspending him, if you're not allowing this fight to happen, he can fight someone else, but you won't allow this fight. So again, it's quite fresh at the moment, but that's where we are at the moment.
And this is exactly where Andy Lee steps in with the truth from inside the camp. This is the part people ignore when they scream steroids. Andy Lee is telling you Parker's growth is natural, earned, and gradual. Confidence, aggression, and power are coming from hard graft, not chemicals. You don't get this kind of controlled evolution from a needle, you get it from obsession.
I think it's been a natural progression because when as Joe's improved, his confidence has grown. And yeah, he wants to be more aggressive. He doesn't want to have to run and back up from anybody. He wants to be the big puncher. He wants, as I said to him.
Carl Frampton voiced what the doubters are thinking. How did Joseph Parker improve this fast? And that's exactly where the steroid whispers start. But rapid improvement doesn't mean cheating. It means discipline, a new trainer, and a fighter who finally believes he belongs at the top again.
So disappointed and annoyed, but he's someone I've really sung his praises about how much he's improved over the last number of years. Yeah, but you know, now you're asking, has he improved so quickly? You know what
Frank Warren said it straight. This isn't steroids. This is success built on momentum, confidence, and a world-class partnership with Andy Lee. Beating Zhilei Zhang, dominating top contenders that comes from chemistry in the gym, not pharmacy tricks. Parker is simply in the form of his life.
Parker's hit a massive run at the moment. He's on a real roll. He's beaten top 10 fighters, Zhang, Bakoli, and done it in style, in absolute style. And he's with a new trainer now in Andy Lee, who seems to be really getting the best out of him. They've really formed a good unit, a good bond between the two of them. And he's a live fight.
Guido Vianello has sparred with Joseph Parker. He's felt the punches, the speed, the timing, and he's not shouting steroids, he's shouting greatness. Fighters who share the ring with Parker aren't accusing him, they're backing him. Because real power doesn't come from injections, it comes from rounds of war in the gym.
I love Joseph, and I think that he's stronger, he's faster. And Parker right now is the top 3. Usyk, Moses, and Parker. This is the names now. So Parker is a top guy. He deserves a title fight. He deserves the world title fight. So I'm with Parker team. He will win.
But outside the ropes, some voices are still questioning the system itself. Tony Sims hits a nerve here. The testing rules are messy, and that's why rumors spread so easily. People don't trust the system, so they point fingers at fighters like Joseph Parker. But if the tests are clean and official, why keep dragging his name through the mud?
No idea. And would it have been released in the public if he'd have had a not guilty result? Do you know what I mean? So would you have even known about it, anyone? So you don't know, but you know, I've got no idea at all. It just seems like the rules are just all over the place, really. Maybe that's something that should be looked.
When Tyson Fury speaks, the boxing world listens, and even he is shutting the door on these steroid rumors. He trains beside Joseph Parker every single day, sees the work, the sweat, the early morning grind, and the late night repetitions. No mystery injections, no shortcuts, just a motivated heavyweight pushing another heavyweight to new levels. Tyson Fury is not calling Parker enhanced, he is calling him dangerous. He says Fabio Wardley has zero chance, not because of banned substances, but because Parker is sharper, fitter, and mentally ruthless. If the lineal heavyweight champion is witnessing this transformation firsthand and still backing him, why are outsiders so desperate to scream steroids? Because it is easier to doubt greatness than accept someone has simply leveled up through hard work.
He's given me motivation to train every day because he's here as well. So a training partner is a vital thing for me. Without a training partner, things become difficult. You know how hard I like to train. So to come in here and train on my own like that, I can, and I do. But it's easier if Joe's here, you know? Yeah. So yeah, friendship and the brotherhood and the training partner is probably the most important things anyone can ever have. And I feel like I can trust Joe with anything, to be fair.
Duke McKenzie isn't even entertaining the steroid claims. Instead, he is pointing out reality. Fabio Wardley's only plan is power, while Joseph Parker is a complete, well-schooled fighter who has rebuilt his confidence and ring IQ. This is exactly what people refuse to accept. Parker's resurgence is not suspicious. It is logical. He changed trainers, cleaned up his conditioning, sharpened his combinations, and found belief again. That does not equal steroids. It equals evolution. McKenzie makes it clear if Fabio Wardley walks in expecting to land one big right hand and go home, he is in for a brutal wake-up call, because Parker is hitting hard, moving smarter and thinking quicker, and real improvement backed by experience is far more terrifying than any rumor.
He relies on his power far too much. He hasn't brought enough to his game right now, and I thought he would have kicked on from that. If he's going to have any chance against Joseph Parker, then he can't just rely on that big right hand. Joseph Parker's a seasoned, well-schooled athlete.
Who hits hard.
Yeah, who hits hard. He's on a resurgence in terms of his confidence and where he is in boxing now, Parker. So it's a good fight.
And McKenzie is not done praising just how calculated Parker has become. Duke McKenzie calls Joseph Parker a predator, and that one word destroys every steroid rumor floating around. Predators are patient. They stalk, they calculate, and they strike with purpose. That kind of ring intelligence is not built inside a laboratory. It is built through years of high-level experience against the very best. Parker has evolved from just a respectful boxer into a silent hunter who sets traps and punishes mistakes. That is what scares people. Not his muscles, not his physique, but the cold precision in his mindset. Steroids cannot teach you timing. They cannot give you patience or the ability to lure your opponent into danger. This is ring maturity. And because they cannot explain such improvement with logic, critics use the easiest excuse: drugs.
Because you know and I know, he's become a bit of a predator. And he waits and he pushes and he pushes and then he waits and then he springs and sets his trap and then bang.
When Roy Jones Jr., one of the most gifted fighters to ever live, says Joseph Parker is the best right now, it carries serious weight. He is not talking about biceps or protein shakes. He is talking about speed, combinations, rhythm, and confidence. All the things you cannot inject. Roy sees a fighter who is comfortable in his skin and deadly under Andy Lee's guidance. This is not a science project. This is a heavyweight who has finally found himself. Critics want to make it about steroids because it is easier than admitting Parker has hit a new peak. But when boxing icons, world champions, and sparring partners all say the same thing, the narrative changes. Joseph Parker is not enhanced. He is just evolving at the perfect time.
I think Parker has got wonderful skills, and under Andy Lee, he's really rejuvenated, and I think he's one of the best heavyweights in the world, period now, former world champion, of course. I think he's better than he once was, so that's a problem for Wardley, but Wardley brings that power in. And remember, Joe Joyce knocked Joe Parker out. Others have had him in.
Adam Catterall is playing with fire here. The way he casually says Parker's popped is exactly how rumors turn into headlines, and headlines turn into hate. This is where the problem starts. There is no failed test, no official suspension, no proof, Yet a single line like that plants doubt in the minds of casual viewers. Headlines love controversy more than truth. Yes, safety in boxing matters. Yes, drug testing should be respected, but you cannot use safety as an excuse to accuse a clean fighter of cheating. The UCAT tests returned negative. The British Boxing Board allowed the fight to go ahead. So where is the crime? Where is the cheat sheet? Joseph Parker is being punished not for failing a test, but for daring to come back stronger, faster, and smarter. Instead of credit, he gets suspicion. Instead of respect for transformation, he gets dragged into steroid gossip. That is not journalism that is fueling chaos, and that is why voices like Johnny Nelson, Tyson Fury, and Frank Warren are shutting this narrative down.
They want to turn up and get paid.
Correct.
This should not be their decision. The British Boxing Board of Control should be standing up and taking the voluntary anti-doping test seriously.
Absolutely.
Yes, I know that you work with the UK anti-doping. I know that, but this is a test. He's popped hot. Let's look into it properly. What happens if something happens on Saturday night?
Absolutely.
What if we've already got a safety issue with the...
Frank Warren is done entertaining nonsense. He is not talking about pharmacy talk or lab-made muscle. He is talking about a pure shootout between two men who are prepared to leave everything in the ring. If Joseph Parker was using steroids, would Warren be this confident sitting next to him on fight week? Of course not. He has seen Parker train. He has seen him up close. And still he is telling the world this is going to be violence from the opening bell. That is because Parker's power is real. His timing is real. And his evolution is real. Critics want it to be chemicals because they cannot accept he rebuilt himself the right way. No shortcuts, no banned substances, just hard graft with Andy Lee and belief restored. Warren knows boxing politics, and even he is questioning why Parker has to defend himself more than he has to defend his chin. He wants fans to stop crying foul and start appreciating a fighter who came back from setbacks and turned himself into a dangerous force the natural way.
Because you heard it from the horse's mouth. It's going to be a shootout. As soon as that bell goes in the first round, they're going to get down on it. They're going to be throwing bombs, and somebody will go. It's going to be a great fight.
Andy Lee is giving the real explanation behind Joseph Parker's transformation. Not steroids, not shortcuts, but strategy and science of boxing done the right way. He is talking about tailored punches, precise combinations, and perfected movement. This is not talk from someone hiding chemical enhancement. This is the language of a trainer who trusts the work he and his fighter have put in. Andy Lee makes it clear that Joseph Parker is not just physically improved, but mentally sharper and technically advanced. That kind of growth does not come from a pill or injection. It comes from studying opponents, drilling every movement until it becomes instinct, and reigniting self-belief. These critics who point at his physique or energy levels forget that true power comes from mastering the basics and then adding intelligence on top. Andy admits the fight is dangerous, but still backs Parker to have enough to beat Fabio Wardley. Because he knows the truth. The rumors are lazy. The work is real. Parker's improvement is not suspicious. It is earned.
To implement ways of beating them, punches that will work, combinations that will work, movements that will work, and then you focus on improving your fighter as well, making him the best he can be. And as long as as long as Joe is firing on all cylinders, I think he'll have enough to beat Wardley. Even though,
this is the fight that defines an era. Terrence "Bud" Crawford isn't just stepping up 2 weight divisions. He's stepping into boxing history, daring to do what most fighters wouldn't even dream of. If he conquers Canelo Alvarez, the debate about the greatest fighter of this generation ends immediately. No excuses, no debates. Bud will have stamped his name alongside the all-time greats. But if Canelo pulls it off, he proves he's still the face of boxing, still capable of humbling even the pound-for-pound king. That's why the stakes are sky high. Legacy, pride, and immortality. Crawford's calmness tells us he's ready. His preparation screams focus, while Canelo looks like a man desperate to protect his throne. One is fighting to conquer, the other is fighting not to lose. And in boxing, hunger often beats comfort. Fans across the world know this isn't just another mega fight, it's a generational clash, where IQ meets power, where discipline meets experience, and where history will be rewritten no matter the outcome. So tell us, are you backing Crawford to shock the world, or do you believe Canelo still has the fire to defend his crown? Drop your thoughts below.